It is the backbone of Asian cuisine, a flavor so complex it has its own name, umami. But unlike most modern condiments made in minutes, authentic soy sauce takes months, sometimes years, to create. For centuries, this process happened in silent cedar barrels, relying on the natural rhythms of the seasons to develop flavor. Today, we are going inside the modern factory, where ancient microbiology meets state-of-the-art engineering on a massive scale. From the microscopic mold that starts the magic to the massive hydraulic presses that extract the liquid gold. Today, we reveal the year-long aging process. It all begins with three simple ingredients provided by nature: protein-rich soybeans, carbohydrate-packed wheat, and pure sea salt. The process starts with the arrival of high-quality soybeans. Trucks deliver tons of these protein-packed legumes, which are immediately moved to storage silos. Before processing, the beans are thoroughly cleaned. Vibrating screens and air blowers remove any dirt, stones, or broken pieces, ensuring only perfect soybeans. The clean soybeans are transferred to massive soaking tanks. Here, they are submerged in water to hydrate, preparing them for the cooking process. Over several hours, the beans absorb moisture, swelling to nearly double their original size. This is crucial for ensuring they cook evenly later on. Simultaneously, whole wheat kernels arrive and go through a similar cleaning process. The wheat is essential for providing the sugars that will eventually become alcohol and oil. The wheat is sent to a high-temperature roaster. This crucial step toasts the kernels, cracking them open and creating the distinct roasted aroma found in the final sauce. After roasting, the wheat is lightly crushed into coarse fragments. This increases the surface area, allowing the mold and enzymes to do their work more effectively. The soaked soybeans are loaded into massive pressure cookers. This isn't just boiling, it's high-pressure steaming designed to sterilize the beans and break down their structure. Inside, the beans are subjected to high-temperature steam. This cooking process makes the proteins accessible for the enzymes that will soon be introduced. The cooked beans must be cooled quickly to the perfect temperature for mold growth. Too hot, and the mold dies. Too cold, and it won't thrive. The cooled soybeans and crushed wheat are mixed together in precise ratios. This blend will become the food source for the star of the show, the Koji mold. The mixture is inoculated with a specific strain of mold called Aspergillus oryzae. These spores are the biological catalyst that will kickstart the fermentation. The mixture is moved into a specialized Koji, a warm, humid sauna designed to be the perfect breeding ground for mold. Over the next 3 days, the magic happens. The spores germinate, and a fuzzy white mold begins to envelop the beans and wheat. As the mold grows, it produces enzymes, protease, and amylase. These enzymes are the keys that will unlock the flavors hidden inside the soybeans. By day 3, the Koji is mature, turning a distinct greenish yellow. It is now packed with the enzymes needed to break down proteins into savory amino acids. The finished Koji is harvested from the beds. It smells sweet and earthy. This fuzzy mixture is about to be plunged into a salty bath. Meanwhile, a concentrated salt solution, or brine, is prepared. The salinity is carefully controlled to be around 15 to 18%. The fuzzy Koji is mixed with the brine. This mixture is now called Moromi mash. The high salt content is crucial. It kills off harmful bacteria while allowing beneficial ones to survive. The Moromi is pumped into massive fermentation tanks, some holding tens of thousands of liters. This is where the long waiting game begins. In modern facilities, temperature and aeration are precisely controlled. Compressed air is bubbled through the mash to keep the yeast and bacteria active. Optional. While some artisans still stir by hand and with barrels, modern scale requires massive, automated steel silos to feed global demand. To guide the flavor profile, specific cultures of lactic acid bacteria and yeast are often added to the mash at different stages. Yeast is added next. It will consume the sugars released by the wheat, creating alcohol and a complex bouquet of flavor compounds. Inside the tank, a microscopic world is alive. Enzymes break down proteins into savory amino acids, while yeast and bacteria create acids and alcohols. This isn't a quick process. As the months pass, the Maillard reaction, the same chemistry that browns a steak, slowly darkens the sauce and deepens its flavor. The protease enzymes from the Koji mold act like microscopic scissors, cutting the long soybean proteins into simple amino acids, including glutamate, the source of umami. Simultaneously, yeast consumes the sugars from the wheat, producing alcohol and hundreds of complex aroma compounds that give soy sauce its distinct smell. Throughout the aging process, technicians monitor the tanks daily. Temperature, pH, and microbial activity are tracked to ensure the fermentation stays on course. For high-quality soy sauce, this aging process lasts for at least 6 months and often up to a full year or more through the changing seasons. When the brewmaster determines the flavor is at its peak, a sample is taken for final analysis. Only then is the mash ready for pressing. The mature mash, now a rich, dark sludge, is pumped from the tanks to the filtration room. It's time to separate the liquid gold from the solids. The mash is pumped into a massive hydraulic filter press. It's layered between hundreds of filter cloths, creating a towering stack ready for squeezing. Immense hydraulic pressure is applied slowly over several days. The goal is to gently squeeze out every drop of liquid without forcing solid particles through the cloth. This is it, raw soy sauce. It flows from the press, dark, fragrant, and packed with umami. At this stage, it is still biologically active. What's left behind is a dry disk of protein and fiber known as soy cake. This isn't waste. It's often sold as high-quality animal feed. The raw soy sauce is collected in holding tanks. Before it can be bottled, it must be refined and stabilized. Any natural soy oil that rose during fermentation is separated from the sauce. This ensures a clean, clear final
product. The raw sauce passes through a separator. The lighter soy oil rises to the top and is centrifuged out, leaving a clearer sauce behind.
The raw sauce is heated quickly in a pasteurizer. This stops fermentation, kills any remaining bacteria, and stabilizes the color. Crucially, this heating step also enhances the aroma, creating the distinct, savory bouquet we associate with inner soy sauce. A final filtration polishes the sauce, removing any last microscopic sediments to ensure a brilliant, clear product. Before bottling, every batch is rigorously tested in the lab. They check for salt content, pH, color, and most importantly,
color reading is
nitrogen
stable
levels.
At 0.85 absorbance.
Confirmed. The Brix levels are also within tolerance.
Total nitrogen indicates the level of amino acids, the umami. The higher the number, the higher the grade, from standard to premium.
The analyzer
to super
confirms
premium.
a 1.6% nitrogen content, which allows the sample to be classified as premium grade according to the standards.
Machines can measure data, but only a human soy sommelier can confirm the complex flavor profile, aroma, and color balance. Once approved, the sauce moves to the bottling line. Bottles are cleaned, filled with the exact amount of sauce, and moved to the capper at incredible speeds. Caps are applied and sealed instantly, locking the flavor and ensuring product safety. Labels are applied with precision, identifying the brand and grade of the sauce that has been a year in the making. A final safety scan ensures every bottle is free from contaminants before it's packed into cases.
The finished bottles pass through a final safety check, the X-ray machine. Any bottle with a defect is automatically rejected from the line.
Robots take over the final packing, loading bottles into cases faster and more reliably than human hands ever could. Cases are stacked onto pallets and wrapped in protective plastic, ready for distribution around the world. From the warehouse, these bottles will travel to kitchens and restaurants globally, bringing the taste of time to billions of meals. The journey that began with a humble soybean and a mold spore is complete, ready to be enjoyed. It is a process that balances ancient microbiology with modern engineering. A year of patience, science, and tradition packed into every single drop. And as one batch leaves, another is just beginning its long, quiet transformation. Did you know soy sauce is fermented like wine? Let us know your favorite way to use it in the comments below. Thanks for watching inside the Fermented Soy Sauce Factory. Subscribe for more industrial deep dives.